And welcome to the Bukit Jalil Stadium in Malaysia. Thrilling atmosphere, really, for ESPN's coverage of Arsenal against Malaysia 11. And we're underway. Crowd of around about 60,000 in this fabulous arena that is the 9th largest football stadium in the world. Capacity of 87,000. And if you ever needed a lesson in just how wide the spread of the Barclays Premier League is, well, here it is. Tremendous fans, so many of them, absolute sea of them in Arsenal shirts. And there's been a terrific atmosphere around the Arsenal camp, and they were stopping the traffic this week. Really phenomenal. Up today against Malaysian 11. And they are pretty much the national side, certainly taken from that squad. It's a strong-looking Malaysian team. And they're right at the start of the process of trying to qualify for the next World Cup. Already played a really exciting qualifier against Chinese Taipei, which they won on away goals. And next up for them is a match against Singapore. That's going to be over 2 legs. And that's not too far away, so this is a good warm-up for them, hence the naming of a pretty strong side. As for Arsenal, team news, the 2 interesting notes are that Ryo Miyaichi, who's on the ball now, who's come back from his loan spell at Feyenoord. He starts, and so does the new man from Charlton, Carl Jenkinson, at right back, who Arsene Wenger genuinely believes could maybe play his way into the first team ahead of Bakary Sagna. He thinks that could be a competition. There's Jack Wilshere, who looks set to have a tremendous season for Arsenal. Here's Wilshere again. Song. Little touch on by Miyaichi. Marouane Chamakh, who's leading the line. Of course, there will be changes at half-time. You would imagine that Arsene Wenger will just try and name 2 different lineups. Challenge there was by Mo Zainal. There's Mahali Jasuli. They've been really encouraged by the progress that Ryo Miyaichi has made. This team, by the way, coached by Dato Rajagopal, who is a Manchester United fan and freely admits it. So just an extra spice for him. Played 12 times for Feyenoord last season. Miyaichi scored 3 goals. Very gifted attacking midfield player. Here's Jenkinson, wearing the number 25 shirt. Now Kieran Gibbs. Wilshere, chance for him to break, penalty kick. Rash challenge. Aidal Zaphouan dived in and Wilshere went down, and it was an easy decision to make for the referee Maud Yusuf Matkarim. So just 4 minutes gone, and Arsenal have the chance to grab an early lead. Aaron Ramsey will be the man to take it. He'll be up against Nazril Nordin, who just gets a bit of advice there. but Ramsey looks confident. This would be a perfect start to pre-season for Arsenal. And Ramsey makes no mistake. And listen to the noise. We may be in Kuala Lumpur, but it's an Arsenal home game. Goalkeeper had no chance at all, really. Really well taken. And make no mistake, this Malaysian 11 is taking this very seriously. They were upset. No yellow card shown. As I said, they are tuning up for a massive game for them. The further they can advance in World Cup qualifying, goes without saying, the better. And they can always live the dream as Wilshere finds Chamakh, and Wilshere continues, and this is beautiful from Arsenal, and it's Walcott, and it should have been two. It's as if they'd never been away. Just felt his lower back there, Theo Walcott. And credit to the goalkeeper, who did well to close down, but Ramsey's in the middle. Right now, Arsenal are a bit too much for this Malaysian side. Adil Zafuan. And now back to Nazrul Nordin, who had no chance really with that penalty. Arsenal leading thanks to an early penalty from Aaron Ramsey. And the Malaysian 11 here looking for a response. There's Koscielny. Forward by Fadli Shas. And the roar goes up as Malaysia come on the charge. Koscielny has to get across. Norsharul Talaha was the man chasing. Koscielny did well, and Arsenal fans will be thrilled to see Koscielny and Vermaelen together. And of course, with the possibility still of new arrivals. Well, that was awkward. And it was Alex Song in the end who got it back to Chesney. Great strength there from Miyachi. And very good tracking back to, although he just ran it out of play there, Mo Zainal. Now Wilshere. Amazing how quickly they can just settle into a rhythm. It's what all the great passing sides do. Here's Walcott. Just sense he hasn't quite found his range yet. It's their first tour of Asia since 1999. They've become accustomed to preparing in the beautiful and rather more tranquil surroundings of Austria, Arsenal. But Arsene Wenger has been really delighted to be here. Chamakh. That's a nice idea from Wilshere. And again, interesting that Ramsey's the one getting a long way forward. Well, Arsenal could easily be 2 goals to the good here. The penalty and then that chance for Walcott. I wouldn't be too cynical, by the way, of those empty seats. It is, as I said, a gigantic stadium, this, built for the Commonwealth Games in 1998. And it does hold 87,000, and they were selling tickets by the bucket load. All sorts of local promotions as well, and so much excitement at the idea that Arsenal are in town. And they're not the last, because Liverpool and Chelsea will soon be in town. Liverpool play here on the 16th and Chelsea on the 21st. Arsenal's pre-season preparations continue live here on ESPN on Saturday when they take on Hangzhou Greentown. They've also got a match coming up the following week against Cologne, and then of course the Emirates Cup, which looks a real cracker this year, and another tournament that's live on ESPN. Throw-in taken by Mahali Jasuli. Now Walcott maybe could stretch his legs, and off he goes, and he was pretty well tracked. There was a hint of a foul, but it was good defending that. Look at the pace here from Subramania. I'm not sure Arsenal were expecting that, and very, very soft free kick. Ahmed Fakhri Sarani, the man who went to ground very easily, and referee has been kind there. It's the captain who's going to take it, Safiq Rahim. Proud man who will want to make something happen here. It's a little more creative than it initially looked, but the drive was easily deflected away. It was Mohd Azharuddin Omar. And that is just a tad optimistic. Hamid Abd Radzak with the effort there. Here's Azharuddin Omar with the throw. Now Adil Zafnan. There is a little bit of quality about this Malaysian side. Already seen that as they come forward. Good feet there by Mohd Zainal. And now Vermaelen. Here's Koscielny. Just kept in, was it? Yeah, the crowd enjoyed the endeavour there. And maybe just a sense that Malaysia managed to calm it down and play their way into the game. Arsenal do often start like a runaway train, and they can overwhelm teams, and they threatened to do that early on. Now Zainal. Safiq Rahim with the expansive pass. And they come forward again here. Good challenge by Koscielny. This is not pre-season tippy-tappy, is it? It's a very competitive game. Good atmosphere too, and all the better for both of those. Here's Adil Zafnan. Well, that was clumsy from Laurent Koscielny. Moshahul Talaha, man who went to ground. And again they try from long range. I don't know if they've worked something out, or think they worked something out about Chesney, but never really seen that weakness. There's Wilshere. Oh, that was nearly perfect for Walcott. Good defensive intervention in the end. Now Song. And here's Wilshere. Safiq Rahim again. Now Adil Zafnan. Fadli Shas now. Imagine the noise if Malaysia managed to get a goal, although the celebration of the Arsenal goal was pretty good. They're certainly trying, and here they come again. Again, it was the ace there of Subramaniam. Quite a high-tempo debut for Jenkinson and Miyachi. He's 19 years of age, the right-back signed from Charlton. Typical Arsene Wenger signing, young with bags of potential. As ever, though, the cry from Arsenal fans is centre half, possibly two in terms of the squad. And that was weak, and now it's Wilshere, and he really is prompting the play from the centre of midfield. Miyachi now to take them on. And then given away again in a dangerous area by Safiq Rahim. If you're wondering, by the way, Samir Nasri is here and he's on the bench, and he was the focus of many of the photographers, as you can imagine, before the game. Robin van Persie sitting next to him, and I'm sure we'll be seeing both of them at some point. But will we be seeing Nasri in an Arsenal shirt this coming season? Arsene Wenger thinks so, and thinks that Cesc Fabregas will stay as well. There's Vermaelen today, and forward towards Chamakh, and just for a moment it looked like it was on. Sharami now. Really good tackle again by Vermaelen. He felt he was fouled, but I think he just felt the force there of Vermaelen. Here's Safiq Rahim. Now Adil Zafnan. And Mahali Jassouli. Breaking forward is Zainal, but tracking back was Wilshere. Although the referee this time has given a free kick. Yeah, it was a shove. Swung in by Safiq Rahim, and once again they test out Chesney. And he was equal to it fairly comfortably, although he had to stretch. Wonder if they think David Seaman's in goal. He always looked likely to overhit that. It came back to him at pace, and Rahim just couldn't wrap his foot around it. Wilshere. That's the ball, isn't it? Wilshere looking diagonal for Walcott inside the fullback, or allowing him to burst down the outside. Of course, we will see, I'm sure, plenty more of the Arsenal stars in the second half. Rosicky is here on the bench, and I've already mentioned Van Persie and Nasri. Fabregas not on the tour because of injury. And they've spent a lot of time signing autographs and charming the local press. And here's Jenkinson under pressure again. Good test for him this, and he's done brilliantly. Kunalan once again, who is seriously quick, as we've seen. And Jenkinson able to get back, and there was a lot to like about that. Very tall for a fullback. Oh dear, touched on and nearly fell for Zainal. But that was very good defending, because he was in a difficult position there, Jenkinson. Ramsey. Such a difference when you play pre-season friendly games with a bit of tempo and in an atmosphere like this. It isn't the real thing, not what they'll be up against when the Premier League restarts on the 13th of August, but it's pretty close to it. Ramsey, good turn, Chamakh. Tried to feed Miyaichi again, you could tell it's Arsenal if you didn't see the shirts. Passing in and around the edge of the area. Jenkinson under pressure again. The ball was on inside that time and maybe comes a bit late. Strike. Walcott. Interesting to see Wilshere there. He always seems to make the right decision. See why he is going to be a huge part of this football club and indeed of England for a long, long time. Now Miyaichi. Alex Song. Wilshere. Chamakh's looked a little static, and that was often a criticism of him last season. Does he really fit into the way that Arsenal play? Walking pace almost there from Song, and they try and burst into life. Here's Gibbs. Helped inside by Wilshere for Alex Song. Flighted neatly by Gibbs, and well taken by Nasri Al-Nordin. Good handling there, and listen to the noise again for Kunalan. Once again, Jenkinson nearly matches him for pace. Does enough anyway. Safiq Rahim now. There was a flag up there. The referee sensibly lets things go on. And Arsenal still lead by a goal to nil. An early penalty from Aaron Ramsey. There's Vermaelen. Usher won't have enjoyed that. And there's a little shove in the back. Had to be careful there under pressure from Theo Walcott. Arsenal have committed 7 fouls already in the game. Quarter of an hour away from half-time. And it's a decent contest at the Bukit Jalil in Kuala Lumpur. Now Miyachi, they're a bit asleep there, the Malaysian side. Decent cross towards Walcott. Couldn't quite reach it. Vermaelen just slightly out of position. With only 2 Malaysian players forward, and they're asking for a miracle to pick that pass. Walcott bursting, important touch behind for a corner. Well, he was the man who gave away the penalty, Aidil Zafnan, and it's an important challenge that. Oh, it looks a bit sluggish there. Crossed by Jenkinson, misjudged and headed just wide. Vermaelen. Not a bad effort at all. To have him back and fit for a season would be like signing a new centre-half. Crucial player. There's Ramsey. Now Zainal. Definitely looked a decent side, the Malaysian 11. They certainly have hope of getting a goal. They haven't had any clear-cut chances as such, but they've been positive. A little word there for Sharami. Azharuddin Omar there to just knock it forward. Of course, the tempo of the game will increase at the start of the second half when Arsenal make what I presume will be a lot of changes. It's a far better way of organising friendlies and managing them than just bringing players on in dribs and drabs. You can almost start again. Gibbs. Malaysian 11 are going to make a change here. Now Vermaelen. Striding forward is Koscielny. Wilshere. Again trying to pick the run of Miyachi there. It's been a while since Arsenal have found a way through. Once more the test for Jenkinson continues, and he does well again. Offside flag was up. Sharami it was, but let's have a look actually. Well, he'd made a brilliant run there, Sharami. He didn't take the chance, but he wasn't offside. Zainal, the man withdrawn. Badr Al-Bakhtiar replaces him. Ten minutes to go until half-time, still just the goal separates them. Jenkinson. Now Wilshere. Here's Walcott. He struggled to find too much room against the fullback over on the far side, Walcott. Had that chance early on just after the goal and looked like he might run riot. As he might still. Now Song. And Wilshere. There's the substitute, Bakhtiar. Test now for Vermaelen, which he passes. Now Kieran Gibbs. Of course, Gael Clichy having left for Manchester City. Now that's the better ball, and here's Walcott, who is in for two. It's the ball they've been looking for throughout the game, and this time it comes off. Wilshere for Walcott, and it looked so simple. It's interesting to watch Theo Walcott's body language here. In fact, it's Ramsey's ball, but he knows the minute he hits it that it's in. He's turning away to celebrate. So Ramsey has scored one and made one. He's another who has a massive season ahead of him potentially. Now Miyachi. Will that knock the stuffing out of this Malaysian 11? And remember, they've only got to cope with Nasri and Van Persie in the second half. Most likely, anyway. Chamakh. Been very quiet. Now that is Wilshere. Drilled across by Jenkinson, and that's a decent ball. And you wonder why Chamakh isn't attacking that. Adil Zafnan is the man down. May have just fallen awkwardly. I didn't see an overly strong challenge along the way. Dear me, it's a stretcher for Zafnan. Oh, there. Oh, it was his knee as he twisted into that tackle. Yeah, that's painful. Zafnan will be stretchered off. This might mean another change. Maybe he could just run it off. Sometimes you can. It looked dramatic on the slow motion, but the knee can recover. Won by Song. Nicked away by Vermaelen. There's Chamakh, and when they find their rhythm they look devastating and far, far too good. Walcott. Once again it's Big Alex Song, it's Chamakh. Walcott was calling for it. Getting dangerously in towards Chamakh, who, for me, he doesn't get into those areas enough. Miyachi. And Walcott with the header. But I think this is a good ball from Walcott. Chamakh should be in there gambling and anticipating. Miyachi. Song. Lovely pass from Song for Walcott once again. Fancies it now, Theo Walcott. Can just roll it towards Ramsey, but it's headed away and didn't reach Miyachi. Jenkinson just upped it a bit here, Arsenal, haven't they? There's Ramsey. Jenkinson. Miyachi does really well to get there, and again, if he wins that header, he's got the right to expect someone to be gambling inside. Down again is Adil Zafnan. Header away there by Jasuli was the important one, and having had his knee twisted, he's now been caught by that challenge. Not his day. Adil Zafnan. Another change coming for the Malaysian 11, and Zafnan's going to be put out of his misery here. Muslim Ahmad is the man to replace him. Well, it could be more, but Arsenal lead by 2-0. Ramsey and Walcott. And we have a whole set of players on the bench who probably already know they're coming on for the second half. Even though it's a friendly match, though, there's Arsene Wenger right on the edge of the technical area, cajoling and criticising occasionally and encouraging too. Vermaelen. Now Miyachi couldn't keep it in, slightly overhit that. Been impressed by him. High energy and makes good runs out wide. Useful on the ball too, which is vital, of course, in this Arsenal side. You have to be more than useful. And right on cue, Theo Walcott fails to control. Now Wilshere. Walcott. In towards Chamakh, but just runs away from him. And good strength as we move into the final minute of the first half. Can't believe there'll be a vast amount of time added on for stoppages. Here is Song. And now it's Miyachi. Again, neatly done and aimed in towards Chamakh, but over his head. Just a minute of stoppage time. He's had a good game. Real leader, Jack Wilshere. Again, Walcott, who continues to run, and so does Jenkinson inside him. Looked for Miyachi making that far post run. And Ramsey tried to do the same thing, but couldn't pick anyone out. Nicked away by Song. This will be the last attack of the half. Song out wide, but it was all rather telegraphed. And there is the half-time whistle. Early penalty from Aaron Ramsey after Jack Wilshere had been fouled. Made it 1-0. That was on 5 minutes, and then Theo Walcott on 37. Finishing off a delightful pass from Ramsey, who's had an excellent half. I'm sure we'll be seeing Nasri and Van Persie in the second half in the heat of Kuala Lumpur. But at half-time here, it's a Malaysian 11-0, Arsenal 2.